Take a ride on its own little pony. Take a ride on its own little pony. Please take a ride on its own little pony with Mr. Pineapple. Oh yeah, it's Mr. Pineapple's Wonder Hour.
Hello and welcome to Mr. Pineapple's Wonder Hour, the show where we talk big pineapples, small pineapples, hairy pineapples and everything in between, the in-between being the infected pineapple. I'm your host, Tony the Pony, and with me, as always, is the one and only, the incredible Mr. Pineapple. How are you, Mr. Pineapple?
I am well.
It doesn't matter how you are, because we are
Right.
joined by a very old guest, and if we don't introduce him soon, he might die. The one and only Grandad Dick. How are you, Grandad Dick?
I'm not doing too bad, thanks. I'm alright.
You did say
it's been one of the worst weeks of your life.
and
Yeah,
A source told me that earlier.
it's been pretty bad. Not gonna lie. The place I work for is absolutely terrible. It cares not about its employees one bit.
Well, hopefully this is a bit of a levity for you at the end of the week.
I've been looking forward to it all week, so.
Get rid of those nervous butterflies, and enjoy it. Get naked. Oil yourself up.
And he has.
Nipples.
Dirty.
Old man nipples.
Well, shall we get on to the 3 questions we ask every guest on this amazing podcast?
Let's do it.
Well, Old Man Dick, what is your favourite film?
My favourite film, like most, I think Ryan and the analyst, mine changes quite often, but the one I normally come back to, because I can't pick one, is the Back to the Future trilogy.
Excellent.
I normally watch them like once a year, or try to anyway. I'm a big fan.
Fine films. I'm a big fan myself.
Mr.
Nice.
Pineapple, do you want to take question 2?
Question 2. Yes, it's what would be your death row meal?
I've thought about this one for a while, actually. I think it would be, there's a pub out, I can't remember, it's out Scaffworth way, and they do a steak. It's a fillet steak with garlic mushrooms, parmesan truffle fries with bacon, and it's Stilton sauce. It's just like, mwah, chef kiss.
What beverage would you have with that? I've decided I'm going to ask a beverage question at the same time now.
Beverage? I want to be really classy and say like a litre of strawberry yazoo.
It is your last meal after all. Do what you got to do.
Yeah, I'm on the yazoo kind of
Fuck it,
binge
have
at the
10
moment.
litres. Throw up while you're getting killed.
Oh no.
And the last but most important question, which cartoon character would you fuck?
See, that's a hard one, because I've watched a lot of the more risque cartoons. But a classic one, I don't know. I might go with Brock, to be honest, because those eyes and his trusty drying pan. He'd have me at that.
Would you get his Pokemon involved?
Ooh.
I mean, Alex is a bit big, don't you think? I mean, he's got that thing on his head, but still.
Do you mean the horn?
Yeah.
That thing on its head.
Well, they're very, very good answers. Very quick as well. It's like you've been thinking about them for a
He's
while.
thought about it, yeah.
The Brock one, I didn't think about that one. I was like, you know what? You just can't say no to that man, can you?
It's like he's listened to the podcast and he knows what happens when we have guests on. Unlike previous guests,
Yeah.
just amateurs.
And that being said, shall we move on to your hairy pineapple?
I
Mr.
mean,
Pineapple?
firstly, I want to shout out the pony for buying me an awesome present the other day. A lovely police story poster, print, framed, picture-esque type thing. It was very nice of you. And Brett Ratner liked the Instagram post, as per.
Brett Ratner's right up your crack, isn't
He wants to be on the podcast to talk about the Rush Hour trilogy. I'm fairly sure he wants to, and I'm going to do everything in my power to get Brett Ratner on the podcast.
Good.
And if that has to be me claiming that he touched me as a child in Hollywood, so be it.
So be it.
I don't mind a court case.
We'll just record it for the pod.
Yes. Let's proceed. Hairy Pineapple, did someone say?
Someone did.
I was chatting to Grandad Dick the other day about Star Wars, and he asked me what my favourite Star Wars fan theory was. And we were talking about Jar Jar Binks possibly being a Sith.
Possibly. Definitely.
And then he asked me what my favourite fan theory of all time was. And I thought, you know what, that'd be a fun little subject we can get into a little bit, I've just wrote a few of my favourites down. You guys have probably heard all of these ones. My all-time favourite one is probably the Grease one, Sandy's Dead.
Yeah, classic. That's my favourite.
The opening song, what is it? He says, I saved her life.
She nearly drowned.
And then boom, the theory goes, she actually died then. And then the end with the fucking flying car, which comes out of nowhere in this 1950s set musical, which is semi-based in reality. There's a flying car at the end, and people say, oh, she's gone to Evan, mate, and all that happened previously were just a sort of fever dream of her dying.
Didn't they also apply that theory to, is it Gravity with Sandra Bullock, where they thought the final couple of acts of that film were her oxygen starvation brain making stuff up?
Yeah, but I'm a big fan of that one. You know, it's probably it's one of the more famous ones out there. And as I was discussing with Grandad Dick a while back as well, I'm a big fan of the Wizard of Oz ones, especially the one that Glinda the Good Witch is actually the evil witch, because she knew about the ruby slippers all along and that she just had to tap them to go home. But she's like, nah, mate, go and fucking kill this witch for me, mate. And then I'll tell you how to get home.
That makes some sense.
You know, she's actually a nasty, nasty, nasty piece of work. And there's other ones, because it's made in 1939, there's talk about all labour and stuff, like the Scarecrow's about farming and stuff, and like the Tin Man's about like steelworks and all that shit, and it's about labour laws and whatnot, and like the Yellow Brick Road, it's about like gold reserves and stuff. It's very deep and weird. And there's also another one saying she's just having a bit of a do because everyone that she knows in real life is in the fantasy world. You guys like Wizard of Oz at all?
Yeah. It's good. The second one still scares me to this day.
It is a freaky film, Return to Oz.
I've seen Wicked. That's not good.
Is it not?
No.
I've heard it's a decent musical.
It might be because I was sat behind a group of kids who were just talking the whole time.
Should have come on
That
him.
kind of ruins
Out of the way.
I was going to say kill them, but either way.
Gets rid of them, doesn't it? Either. I've got one if you're done with yours.
I mean, I've got two more, but let's get you on to...
I like the Finding Nemo one.
Oh, which one, though?
The one where Nemo doesn't actually exist.
Yeah, he's
and the whole film
dead,
is him dealing with the grief.
Is that because
loss
you
of
don't
his
believe
son.
your kids are real?
I don't believe anything's real, mate.
Ooh, it's a hot take.
But yeah, that's a good one, actually. I'm a fan of that.
And there's a Pulp Fiction one about...
With the soul.
Yeah, the soul in the briefcase.
Yeah.
I think it's his dick.
Ving Rhames' dick.
Yeah, in the briefcase.
I mean, it might well be his penis.
It might be both.
Yeah.
Who really knows where the soul is?
The essence of the soul is in the penis.
You don't mind me going one of mine next?
No, shoot, fire away.
One of the other ones that always comes to mind with me is the Shining and the moon landing.
Oh, yeah.
That's always classic. I mean, obviously we've all got a friend who you can't go to his house without him talking about The Shining and how it's all about minotaurs. There's so much in that film that.
There's an awful lot of.
Yeah.
I mean, they made a
even seen
documentary
it.
about it, didn't they?
It did, yeah.
Why is it about the moon landing?
There's a.
Do you not know the theory that Kubrick filmed the moon landings and the moon landings are fake?
Yeah.
Oh no.
You not know that? It's like a real.
I knew about the
There's a-
moon landings being fake. I didn't know.
So
it was.
there's a scene in it, isn't it, where the kid's got the
The shuttle on his jumper.
yeah.
Sweater. And there's
Couple
other
other things.
There's other things as well and stuff. Watch the documentary. It's much better than The Shining because I hate that film. I can't stomach it.
So-
But Room 237, wonderful documentary. That freaked me out more than The Shining did. I mean, they're grasping at straws on most of the things, but I was like, you do you, guys. You do you. But another favourite of mine is The Rock. The Nicolas Cage, Sean Connery film. Classic film. Who don't love a bit of Michael Bay 90s action? But the theory is that John Mason, Sean Connery's character, is actually James Bond.
I remember now. Yeah.
You know, this guy who was spying in America in the 60s and's been in prison for all this time. I like that one a lot. It ties in well.
Headcanon, for sure.
What about the Home Alone one?
That he grows up to be Jigsaw.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like that.
That's a pretty sweet one. But my final one is I'm a big fan of Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
In particular, the original series. You know, Where Are You? And there's so many fucking theories for this. It's about people dodging the Vietnam draft. You know, they're traveling up to Canada and like Fred's been enlisted, but he's ran off with his fiancée Daphne, and like Shaggy's just a hippie who opposes it, and Velma's like an activist and stuff. And there's theories that it's set during an economic recession because all these villains are like former big shots who shouldn't have lost all their money and shit, but they have. So they have to turn to villainy and whatnot. And my favourite one is the way they split up in the show, you know, it's normally Shaggy and Scooby go on their own, but sometimes with Velma, and Fred goes with Daphne, and sometimes Velma. It's just that they go off and fuck because they never get chased by the monsters or anything. While Shaggy and Scooby are just, you know, I was like, yeah, a lot of time for this.
Isn't there one about Shaggy being able to talk to Scooby because he's always high?
That's not even a fanfare. That's implicit. The smoke always coming out the back of the fucking van doors, mate, and they're always hungry as shit. But yeah, they're just some of my favourite ones. There's obviously fucking countless more out there, you know, so many. But they're a few of my favourite ones.
We didn't talk about the James Bond one.
It's the code name.
Yeah.
Makes sense given
Do
that.
you think that's just a given now?
I like to think that it's just the same guy.
Yeah.
Personally.
Maybe
I get more enjoyment
it.
of it being the same guy.
Maybe they'll confirm it in the next film though, because they're all on about this female James Bond and that, aren't they?
From what I've heard, he starts off the film retired, and she's the new 007. So
It can't be worse than the last film, though.
which one's the last one?
It can, mate.
Spectre.
Oh, yeah, Spectre. It could be. I mean, I never liked Quantum of Solace either. That was.
Yeah, that's a place because it's a bad film.
Yeah.
It's not good.
I can't even remember that one.
Yeah, there's a guy. He's like an eco guy. It's a bit shit.
Was it made in the writer's strike? Am I right in saying that?
It was
Makes
released
sense.
in 2008, so possibly. I mean, Casino Royale's like amazing, and then they made
follow it up with that.
Skyfall's decent, and then they made that piece of shit after it. It's very up and down. So this one, if we're going on that, is going to be good.
On a random tangent, I know this isn't a James Bond podcast, but with Skyfall, they bring back the DB. Is it DB5, isn't it? Yeah, I thought like the Daniel Craig ones were like set before everything that ever come before, but they brought back the DB5. Like everyone was like, "Oh my god, the DB5's back!" But it's not back. Surely it's the first time it's turned up.
They just shot it to shit.
It's a classic case of fans wanting to know too much and then the producers and everything going back on what they said. And on that note, shall we move on to a small pineapple?
That was a fun hairy pineapple. I like
It
fantasy.
was.
We'll have to bring some more up in the future.
I'll bring you up in the future.
You always bring me up, darling.
Well, small pineapples, let's get on to it. Let's get on to the trailers.
Yay.
Trailers. Da-da-da-da. Well, first trailer we're going to wank about, is the Old Guard trailer, starring Charlize Theron. She's been all over this podcast lately.
Yeah, she's been busy.
Slag.
I would.
I mean,
Yeah.
But only when she's got the makeup on from the film Monster, where she looks ugly. I like it when she wanks off that disabled man and don't kill him, because she feels bad for him. Have you seen the film Monster?
I
I
can't say I
don't
have.
know.
She won the Oscar for it. She plays the Eileen, whatever her name is, the serial killer.
But yeah, this is not that film. This is the Old Guard, a film about immortal squad of people.
I watched that film when I was 10, by the way,
What?
2003.
Oh, the monster. Alright.
Maybe that's why I'm like I am.
Maybe.
Who knows? Maybe films are bad.
Well, I did say you need to stop wanking off disabled people, didn't I?
You did.
The Old Guard. Let's get on to it. What did you guys think?
It's a bit bland to me.
Didn't it?
It looked alright. I mean, I like Charlize Theron in most things she's in.
Yeah, I mean, she's a good actress and stuff, especially in that film Monster. But it's based on a comic, right?
Graphic novel, I think it
Yeah.
said. Yeah.
I was getting lots of Highlander vibes.
Yeah.
Why does she have an axe when she has
Because she's
loads of guns?
in what's the word where you don't die.
She's
Immortal.
That's the
Yeah,
word.
she's back from the day where that was the peak of technology.
Maybe it's what she had when she was like first a warrior, and it's just like a symbol of her past.
Could be.
Maybe.
That's script writing 101 for you there, Aunt mate.
Do they age? What? Do they age though? Because they said there's been many people like these people in the past.
I'm not sure. I got very confused by most of it, if I'm being honest.
It's got Chilla Twed Epchiforth in it.
Chiwetel Ejiofor,
Yeah.
wonderful actor.
Is he the guy from Kinky Boots?
Yes,
Yes. I've put in my notes. So every film I've seen him in, it's been great.
he's in he's 12 Years a Slave as well. Is probably the big one that broke him out, shall we say?
It's Doctor Strange.
He's in Serenity.
He is in Serenity. Yeah,
He
he's
has a
wonderful.
great part in that.
Yes, great film.
Did you guys notice that, shout out to the last episode, that Dudley was in the trailer for this? Dudley Dursley, I can't remember the actor's name.
Was he really?
Yeah, he was in it for a brief second. I noticed him
Oh.
because he was recently been in War of the Worlds and something else as well. His Dark Materials.
Oh.
The
So
only-
he's making a bit of a splash.
Bit of a renaissance for Dudley.
He seems to be typecast a bit though, because he just seems to be a bit of a dick in everything he's in.
The only people I recognised in the cast were Charlize and Chiwetel.
Same, yeah.
I didn't until Dudley Boy just got mentioned.
Dudley Boys.
Yes, the Dudley Boys. He's going to do a 3D through some tables that are on fire.
I'm pretty sure. This is going to be where I just make a complete tit of myself, and I've just ruined your podcast.
Oh.
We ruined it in episode 1, mate.
Yeah.
By carrying on.
But yeah,
essentially.
I can confirm, fact checking during the podcast rather than before, and Harry Melling is indeed in it. He's the guy who was Dudley Dursley.
We don't like his real name. He's now Dudley.
Yes.
It's Dudley forever and
he was a bad actor in the Harry Potter films.
He was the best actor in it because it was all shit.
I mean, from what I've heard, there are no cons to that film series whatsoever.
I mean,
don't even. Shall we move on to the latest Mel Gibson film?
Oh no.
Force of Nature.
And this film is already creating controversy before it's even been released.
Why?
Because
Mel Gibson, isn't it?
The Puerto Ricans aren't liking that it's exploiting their plight that's just happened with the hurricane, because over 3,000 people are confirmed dead from that hurricane, and they don't like the fact that it's white savior syndrome and the bad guys are all Ricans.
I don't like the fact Mel Gibson's in it.
That's the first note I made on mine.
I love Mel Gibson. He's mad.
What's wrong? Oh, yeah, I guess
he's
isn't he?
Martin Riggs in Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, but he can't run faster than Jackie Chan, can he?
We'll have to see.
One of my notes I said when I was watching this trailer, my interest in it just seemed to get more cheesy the more the trailer went on. I was like, this could be okay, and I was like, oh, this looks like it could be quite bad. Oh, this just looks like any kind of heist film set in a hurricane for some reason.
And then there's a fucking like a leopard or some shit just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Attacks something. I was like, oh, is it turning into a horror film or something? Oh no, there's a leopard in an apartment complex or whatever the fuck it was.
Looks like they're trying to cash in on the kind of Equalizer, kind of Taken kind of.
Yeah. So this film is essentially there's a hurricane happening in Puerto Rico. Mel Gibson's nurse daughter's trying to get him to leave. He's like, no. Some cops come and like, what do you want us to do? And then some bad Puerto Ricans come.
Every Puerto Ricans are bad people.
They kill a cop, and then the cops and the nurse and the old man have to fend them off because there's $55 million in this apartment complex, and there's also a hurricane.
Because it's in Puerto Rico.
Yes.
Oof.
The plight of the Puerto Ricans is now being exploited for your entertainment, you dirty audience members. Dirty.
Well, let's move on to Da 5 Bloods trailer.
I haven't watched this trailer because I refuse to watch anything that Spike Lee has a hand in. Yes, it is a race issue.
No, it's not.
No,
about this.
It's
Mr. Pineapple. This film is set in 2 different timelines. It's about
what's the name of the film?
Da Bloods 5.
Da 5
Bloods. Bloods.
What happened to the Bloods 1 through 4?
Well, it's about Vietnam. Chadwick Boseman plays a Vietnam soldier, and it's about a group of people in our time retracing his steps through Vietnam and finding some gold. That's all I got from the trailer, really. And there's a lot of funk.
I do like funk, but I don't like Spike.
It looks alright, to be fair. John Reno's in it.
Oh, is it?
No, I watched the trailer. To be honest, I found the trailer quite hard to watch because the jump in between like the classic footage and the film footage was very fast. I struggled to pay attention when it was flick. I don't think it's something I'm that interested in, to be honest. It looked alright. It got more interesting the trailer went on for me. But
it's another Netflix release as well, this one, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It seems like this is the reason why Chadwick Boseman's been really skinny for the past, like, God knows how many months. Because there are pictures of him on the internet, like, dead looking.
Has this man got AIDS?
Yeah, basically.
TMZ article or some shit.
But yeah, it looked alright. I enjoyed Black Klansman, so who knows? Might enjoy this, or I might just think it's just race war again, isn't it?
It's going to be.
Not going to comment, but that was something that I was like, oh, this is going to be one of those films I'm not going to enjoy because...
That's every Spike Lee film.
Yeah, that's why Mr. Pineapple don't like him. Well, the next trailer is a second trailer for the film Tenet, the Christopher Nolan mindfucky time travel-y blooga film.
Yeah, I'd not seen trailer 1 for this, so I watched them back to back.
Oh yeah.
And I still have no clue.
I don't like it because I don't like time traveling films.
Shit was moving backwards and stuff.
Yeah.
It was catching the bullets and not firing them or some shit or whatever she said.
I mean, I could figure out what happened in the room because it didn't happen yet, and just
Christopher Nolan, right?
Here we go.
He's always so far up his own fucking jacksy. You know, he's like, oh, if I make a film that no one can understand other than me, that means I'm a good filmmaker. It's like, no, Christopher Nolan, stick to making Batman films, you fucking prick. Get rid of your Inception. I hate that film.
He's already kind of tried to tackle time travel, hasn't he? With Interstellar.
Is it going to be time travel?
He literally says time travel in the trailer.
Yeah, there's going to be some form of time travel in this Tenet
Oh,
thing.
I'm not going to watch this.
See, that's the first thing I took away from this. Time travel in films or TV is always a very like divisive thing. Like, other people love it. Like personally, I liked Endgame because I like time travel MacGuffins. I know you don't. I'm pretty sure. It's coming from Back to the Future being some of the films that I enjoyed as a kid. So I'm like, yay, time travel.
Oh, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of time travel films I love out there.
Just not Endgame. I mean, Endgame's got some problems.
I'm a big fan, as you know, of the Back to the Future films. I love Terminator, you know.
Terminator 2.
Terminator 2 is also there. Terminator 3 is a film.
Terminator Dark Fate.
That Salvation one.
I like Salvation. I saw that in the pictures. Back in 2009 or whenever the fuck it was released. It's 11 years ago. Shit.
Yeah, as I say, time travel's quite diverse. Either people love it, like, or they hate it, and this one seems to be very. It's like they're traveling backwards in time while they're going forwards in time. I mean, the effects are great. Like the effects look neat. Like the fight scenes where they're
it looked nice.
Punching glass and it's uncracking. I mean, Red Dwarf's done this before though.
Yeah.
Has he just seen backwards and he's like, you know what, I can rip off Red Dwarf and make a film out of it.
Inception's basically a rip-off of Paprika, Japanese. I don't like Christopher Nolan, I don't think, you know.
I don't think you do either.
I like Memento.
Do you like the Dark Knight trilogy?
Not really.
Memento's the one where the guy can't remember who killed his missus, is it? And he's got stuff written on his skin. I've always meant to see that.
It goes backwards and forwards, the narrative.
Is it his first film?
No, his first film came out 2 years before that, and I can't remember. It might be The Following or something stupid like that.
This has got Michael Caine in. Obviously.
Michael Tax Break Caine. Offshore tax breaks. I don't like Michael Caine either.
You just reminded me of a note I made for this. When I was watching the trailer, I saw Michael Caine, I saw old Edward Cullen and Chris Nolan, and I was like, is this the new Batman film?
Oh, yeah.
Might be.
I was like, Alfred's there, there's Bruce.
I'm more excited for Robert Pattinson films now.
He's a really good actor.
He seemed quite good in the trailer, to be honest. From what I saw of the...
His accent's a bit weird.
Yeah.
I can't tell if it's Cockney or not.
Yeah.
He's a flamboyant guy, isn't he?
Because Kenneth Branagh's some kind of Russian evil guy. I got that from the trailer, I believe. And there's a woman in it.
I assumed that old Edward Cullen was the guy who was bankrolling the whatever company that's doing this time traveling stuff. Okay. I don't know if that's correct or not. That's the takeaway I had.
It is very confusing.
Yeah.
I guess I'll know more when the plot's on Wikipedia, because I'm not watching it.
The woman is in Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Yeah, she's the gold
woman. The gold woman, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is it Elizabeth Debicki or something?
Yeah, something like that.
She's like massive in real life, man. She's tall as shit.
It looks like he's found out another camera trick and he's been like, let's make a film about this camera trick.
Yeah.
I don't like him.
He's up his own arse, isn't he?
Yeah.
But the next trailer,
this
the game trailer.
I'm really angry now.
This will cheer you up. Man-Eater. Jaws, the game, basically.
I'm excited for this. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to play as a shark. I'm going to fuck shit up.
You're going to meet people.
Yeah. I like the part where he was getting chased by like a crocodile or an alligator. I'm not sure which one it would be. You play as a little shark, don't you, at the start, and you grow and what have you.
Evolve and gain new abilities. You can end up with like some kind of weird electrical alien shark thing or something.
There seems like a lot of customization for a shark, you know. But sharks are my favourite animals. I'm a big fan. If it's anything like the Jaws game that got released 15 or so years back, then I'm all for it.
Well, the next trailer is another game trailer. A Fold Apart, or the love story of origami people.
It's about people who are far away out, isn't it?
Yeah, long distance.
But like a social distancing game. It's topical. It's a topical trailer.
Yeah. I like how you can be two male characters or two female.
Yeah, I like it. Everything I saw. Yeah, I like a good puzzle game.
It's just like a cute little puzzle game. The music sounds amazing.
Yeah, those are my notes. It seems to fit the theme really well.
And they're two games that I'm probably going to buy and purchase and play and purchase and buy and play.
Oh, the two, I think I'd definitely go with Fall Apart. I mean, I'd get Man-Eater.
Well, that is our last trailer. Let's get on to the news.
Quite a lot of trailers.
Yeah, all right.
Dick.
We got big news to start us off. It's happening. It's happening. Justice League. Zack Snyder's Justice League is getting released onto HBO Max.
In 2021.
Release the Snyder Cut is finally saw the light of day.
It's going to be shit either way.
Yeah, I look at Justice League and I'm like, I don't think you can recut that to be a good film.
I just don't understand. I don't. But
Well, it all came from a Zoom watch party of Man of Steel, didn't it? He called in good old Henry Cavill, and then Henry Cavill was like, "When you gonna release that, me, baby?" And he was like, "Well, actually, it's coming to HBO Max, because this is all fucking selling point for HBO Max. I've said it, another fucking streaming service."
It's all well and good, but as English people, do we get access to that? Because in America, HBO... No, I'm thinking of Hulu, sorry. Hulu's tied in with Disney+. But a lot of HBO stuff that we would be on HBO for us is on Sky/Now TV.
Yeah.
It goes to Sky. Sky Atlantic is effectively the HBO channel, isn't it?
In many, many ways. But they are doing, they've got a 30 million budget for this cut to do extra shit, but they're not allowed to shoot any new scenes or reshoot any scenes. It's
Apparently, he is doing
Oh.
reshoot, but not with any actors.
Yeah, so I don't get it. It's peculiar.
I'm guessing all the reshoots are going to be like the Dark Side stuff that's supposed to be in, and maybe they'll just do a fully CGI Martian Manhunter. Or
Yeah.
he's supposed to be in it. The Atom's in it. Dark Side's in it.
I'm gonna have to watch it because you're gonna make me. But
Yeah. Justice League.
I don't care for this.
It might be the best film ever.
It won't be.
It might be.
But it won't be.
No, it won't be. Shall we move on?
Please.
Please.
Well, following the DC train, we've got Ruby Rose exiting Batwoman, the CW network TV show.
Have any details come out as to why yet?
I've heard a couple of things. I don't know. I've heard she's walked away. I've heard that they got rid of her. From what I've heard, the Batwoman series hasn't been doing very well lately in regards to ratings.
Ruby Rose reportedly quit Batwoman because it was too much work. Sure.
Women. That's why you don't get a woman in a main role of a TV show. That demands many hours.
A lot of people are saying it's because of like the long hours on set. What does she fucking expect? It's her job. Actress. You have to... Oh, mate, I hate people, man.
Yeah, it seems a bit...
A couple of people who are interested in taking over the role is Stephanie Beatrix from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Represent.
And good old WWE's own Sonya Deville.
I have seen that they're only going to cast
Lesbian.
lesbianic woman, yeah.
Why?
And I think that's illegal, is it not?
That's discrimination.
So
Oh boy.
it's like they're...
That's a topic to steer away from right there.
Let's swap over to Disney news, more specifically Star Wars news.
No.
The Kenobi series reportedly featuring Ahsoka Tano.
You're not good with names, are you?
I'm not.
What's that name you couldn't say the other day? Persephone. How did you pronounce the name Persephone, Hank? Persephone. Persephone.
Sounds like you're drunk and you need to call the taxi. Can you Persephone, please?
Ahsoka Tano. Is that it?
Ahsoka Tano.
Tano.
I believe that's correct.
Ahsoka Tano, yeah. Fucking amateur.
The willy head woman. Are you excited for this, Mr. Pineapple? You've recently watched the whole of the animated Star Warses.
Yeah, I watched everything, man. I'm a big fan of the character. She's one of my favourite characters in the Clone Wars, and her appearances in Rebels are good too. So
Well, we did have casting news the other week, didn't we?
Rosario Dawson, who I am a big fan of, especially Snatch, as I discuss often.
I was going to say, from what I've heard, her appearance in, obviously, The Mandalorian Season 2 is only going to be an episode, and it's going to be to get the interest in her live action appearances in other things.
Well, it's obviously all a shared universe anyway, but
Yeah.
sowing a few more seeds, shall we say. Plus, it's been a while since an actual Star Wars show's been out. What, Rebels finished in 2018, was it?
There's Resistance now, isn't there? which is
Yeah,
a
but-
follow-on from that, I
No one
think.
cares about that. That's set during the
The
Force
new
Awakens
shit.
era,
Yeah,
innit?
yeah.
I mean,
Let's
I'll-
not get
I'll-
into that.
I have to watch it, don't I? I've seen all the fucking rest.
Yeah.
And there's only like 40 episodes, I think, so it's doable. Probably should have watched it all yesterday.
Well, moving on. She's rumoured to get her own series as well.
I like her.
Yeah.
Great character.
Well, I watched a few episodes of Clone Wars the other night.
She's pretty much naked in it for like the first 2 seasons.
Pretty much, yeah.
Very little clothing on for like a 16-year-old or whatever she is in the series.
Sex sells, mate. Especially alien sex. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big time.
That's the end of the Star Wars news. Short but sweet, you know. Shall we get on to the dead people?
Oh, yes. I have notes on them.
Non-corona dead.
Yes, these are normal deaths, as I guess we can call them. You know, we've got Gino Silva.
Who's that?
He's an actor,
What's he been in?
famously for being the guy. No, his most famous role is probably he plays the Skull in Scarface, the guy who kills Tony Montana from
Oh,
behind.
spoilers.
For the film from 1983, I apologise. And he's in other films, but he's also in Lost World, you know, the Jurassic Park.
Oh, yeah. Is he playing a dinosaur?
Well, yes, he plays all of them, mocap style. He was the Andy Serkis of the 90s.
That's another fun theory, that none of the dinosaurs were real.
Yeah, so I've read that article too.
I thought we read the same article, to be fair.
But yeah, he was 72. No cause of death on that one so far. Up next, we've got Ken Osmond. He was 76, and he was famous for playing Eddie Askell in the very, very popular American sitcom Leave It to Beaver from the late 50s and early 60s. He struggled, sadly, to get sort of work after that. He was quite typecast, so he became a police officer. But when he retired, he went back to acting and stuff. So the character of Eddie Askell is very highly rated. They did one of the American fucking publications did like a top 50 TV characters, and he was voted the 20th best TV character of all time. So
Fucking hell.
yeah,
Some of that.
yeah. And lastly, another actor.
Do you know how he died?
Oh, some kind of illness or
Yeah,
injury
Makes sense. Yeah.
or accident.
Yeah.
And up next, we've got John Mahone. He was 82, and his most famous film roles were Zodiac, LA Confidential, and Armageddon. He was pretty much famous for sort of playing like police chiefs and fire chiefs and stuff. And he was pretty much in every famous TV show in the sort of 80s and 90s, in like one-off guest appearances and stuff.
Every TV show.
Lots of the TV shows.
Jesus.
And he was in an episode of Frasier playing the uncle of Frasier. And that's funny to me because his name's John Mahone, and his brother in the TV show is played by John Mahoney. So
Oh.
that just tickled me when I read it. I mean, sorry about you being dead and shit, but that amused me. Only the 3 deaths to report this week in terms of film and television. Sadly, a few more to talk about later on in the episode.
Well, the next bit of news, we've got David Arquette
Okay, yes.
returning to Scream.
Yes, Scream 5. We've already got Neve Campbell's confirmation, which I believe we talked about last week. But now,
Probably sometime, yeah.
yeah, Dewey's going to be back.
Oh.
I hope he does some wrestling moves because he became a wrestler, didn't he, David?
He did, yeah.
Have you seen that death match he's in where he gets like his neck slit and he nearly died?
No.
With light tubes and shit. His throat gets like slit a bit and he's like bleeding everywhere and shit.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, he's gone hard, mate. He's trying to repent for WCW when he became the world heavyweight champion. Yeah, I like the original Scream trilogy. I'm hoping this film's more like them and less like 4.
I mentioned before, didn't I? I think every kind of horror franchise is going to go down the Halloween reboot.
Yeah,
route.
and disregard most of them, yeah.
Speaking about Halloween, Jamie Lee Curtis is co-writing and directing her first project, which is...
Yes, with Blumhouse. It's going to be
Blumhouse.
a horror thing. There's a title's been released, but I can't remember what it is.
The first time I ever came across any of their stuff was when I went on holiday a couple of years ago. I went to this thing called Halloween Horror Nights, where Universal Studios take the theme park and create a lot of the sound stages into like haunted houses where you walk through them. They've got people
Oh, yeah.
in prosthetics and jump out at you. And one of them was Blumhouse themed, and I was like, oh, I've seen. Is it The Purge? That's Blumhouse.
Probably, yeah.
Well, it was The Purge and another one. I went. The first film was, I'd not watched it, and I went through the haunted house, and it was just going into this bedroom. This woman saying she was waking up, an alarm going off, walking around. This guy in a mask comes out. I'm like, okay, then go back into a bedroom. And it was just repeating. I was like, what the hell is going off here? And I didn't realize at the time it was like, is it Happy Death Day?
Yeah, with the.
I was just having no idea what the film was about. I was just confused what I was walking through.
I wouldn't be able to go in one of those because I would hands down be
Punching people.
Yeah, I'd be punching people. I would take weapons in with me because I don't like being scared. I was like, you come at me, I've got an hammer. I will complete this house. We'll walk through it together, Mr. Scary Man, who's doing a job. But you may get injured if you come at me. But yeah, it's going to be called Mother Nature, the film. And it's centered around climate change. Make of that what you will.
Oh,
no.
Oh, no.
But yeah, it's her first directing thing. And she's like, I'm 61 and my motto now is, if not now, when?
She's a good egg, isn't she?
Take risks, folks, you know. Oh, she's a wonderful actress. And I like it when her tits are out in Trading Places. Because they are just magnifique.
Yeah.
She plays a wonderful prostitute in that film. Much like Charlize Theron does in Monster.
But Jamie does not wank off a disabled man.
Nope, she just gets in a relationship with Dan Aykroyd.
That's basically the same.
You could say, yeah, you know.
The next bit of news is Edgar Wright launches a production company tied in with Netflix.
Yes, they've already got production deals apparently to produce like 4 shows or something.
Well, it is Netflix. They greenlight everything. So
there's no real information as to what the shows are going to be. So at the moment, we can't really speculate too much. I guess we'll have to wait for future info.
The next bit of news, I'm going to hand over to you.
Yorgos, the Greek director, he did The Favourite, which won some Oscars and shit for Olivia Colman. He also made the amazing Dogtooth, which is about incest. It's a great film, actually, from 2008, 2009. My favourite Greek film, I'd say. Yeah, his next film is going to be a gothic western monstery thing or some shit. That's pretty much all we know up to yet. What did you say the title is again? I can't remember.
Hawkline Monster, is it?
Yeah, that's the one, yeah.
That's an interesting name. And the next bit of news, Steven Soderbergh has wrote a Sex Lies and Videotape sequel. Yes,
Sex Lies and Videotape is a seminal piece of American indie filmmaking, from 1989. And your boy Steve has been quarantined, obviously, like all of us. And he's like, fuck it, wrote me a sequel. I want to direct me a sequel. Who knows what will happen? He knows. Because he does.
Well, yeah, they're just a few bits of news that will be reoccurring on the pod, I'm sure. Last bit of news. Nicholas Hoult has been replaced by Isai Morales in
Mission Impossible 7
and 8.
And 8.
Wow.
All right,
Jesus.
good damn.
There was a lot of Mission Impossible 8, 7 and 8 and 7 news released this week, but I think this is the biggest.
Yeah, scheduling conflicts, obviously, because they've had to halt production and stuff because of Corona. They're very different in terms of actors. Nicholas Hoult is 30-ish. S.I. Morales, looks to be in his 50s.
Yeah, he plays Deathstroke in Titans.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll rewrite the character a little bit or what.
It must just be a broad age playing range.
Maybe we'll have to wait and see.
But yeah, interesting. Let's get on to the infected pineapple.
Yeah.
Let's go. Boop, boop, boop. Do you want to do deaths first?
Yeah, I always want to do the deaths first.
Dead people.
Woo! Only the one to obviously there's more than one death occurred within the week.
We've talked about this.
But only one that we care about.
Yeah.
And it's a Star Wars related one, actually.
Oh, very relatable.
Ken Nightingale, he was 92. You may remember him as Pink Shorts Boom Guy from that famous picture of them filming, the behind the scenes shot with a guy with a boom mic, and he's in the pink shorts and like boots. He was like the sound engineer and stuff. He's passed away, 92. You know the picture I'm talking about, right?
No.
Cool. Just right now, Google pink shorts boom guy.
Pink shorts. Boom.
Is it a meme? Is his
No.
whole legacy just turned into a meme? That's why we're talking about him.
Oh, it's that. They are some shorts, Jesus.
It's a real famous picture, Tony. He also was a sound engineer on most of the 80s Bond films as well. So he's not just a pink shorts boom guy, but that is his legacy.
Oh, man.
And yes, he was 92, sad to report. Good age, though. Good age, good innings. Wonderful, wonderful shorts.
Well, let's get on to the Infected Pineapple news. We're going to kick it off with the crazy man, Michael Bay, is directing a new pandemic thriller.
Yeah.
Shooting while everyone's in lockdown.
I feel that the way that the virus or whatever in the film is spread is by explosions
I was just about to say that.
and
Fireworks.
gratuitous shots of ladies that linger a little bit too long.
Michael Bay trying to kill his actors.
Yeah, that's how the virus is spread.
I hate Michael Bay.
I love Michael Bay.
Why?
He made The Rock.
Yeah, he's done some good films.
He made Bad Boys.
He also made all the Transformers.
The first
Yeah.
one wasn't bad.
I've seen the first one at least 3 times, I think.
Great soundtrack. That's
And
all I'm saying.
Yeah, you fanboy. He also made Armageddon,
Yeah, I mean, you don't get better than that film.
and that's a film.
It was filmed.
No, though, is it?
Some would say the same film.
Some would say just alternate timelines. One where the asteroid isn't destroyed.
I've just looked up some of the films he's done, and he's randomly in a film I was thinking about bringing up when we did the trailers thing called 6 Underground on Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
Which I watched when we watched the trailer for The Old God. I was like, is this going to be like 6 Underground where the trailer looks amazing, but
At the Ryan Reynolds one, yeah.
I'm a big fan of Ryan Reynolds. I just could not get into that film.
I've heard it's not great.
Yeah, I've been told it takes way too long to introduce all the fucking people.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Michael Bay produced that, didn't he?
Yeah, he was involved in that one. He's also credited as reporter number 4.
Oh, wonderful. Showing his acting range.
I bet he didn't try and blow himself up though, did he?
No. Probably not.
There are the small pineapples done. The news is done. Everyone's done. Should we get on to the big pineapple?
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, the big pineapple this episode, folks, is The Mandalorian Season 1, boys! You know, we're gonna be doing this review a bit differently because we don't want to be going through every fucking episode, do we? That'd take way too long. So we're gonna do favourite episode, least favourite episode, best moments, worst moments, best characters, worst characters, a little overview of the main character in the season, bit of talk about the setting and production of the whole thing, then the rating, and then we're going to be speaking Season 2 speculations. So, who wants to start us off? Mr. Pineapple doesn't because he's eating grapes.
Rewind.
I mean, on a personal basis, I'm a big fan of the ships of Star Wars. Like, I play the miniatures games to do with Star Wars, and I think that whenever they got like the Razor Crest, got some good scenes. The end of that episode with the prison ship. That's kind of close to being my favourite episode because at the end bit where they're like, oh, see, we're just going to shoot him while I was like, oh, what's this? And then because they were talking about the recovery team coming, I was like, oh, it's just going to be a random couple of guys. And it's 3 X-Wings. I'm like, oh, boy, howdy.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, big style. Nostalgia boner all over the place.
Well, I was going to say my favourite episode is that episode, the Prisoners episode. Because I just like, the things I love about Star Wars
No, you like it because it's got Bill Burr in it.
Listen, right? Is the kind of small characters and the small avoiding and away from all the big Jedi and Sith, all that stuff. I like all the little bits and all the little like planets and the background characters.
Yeah.
The underworld stuff.
Yeah, that's a word. Fucking hell.
It's like you've not even watched
I
Clone
did.
Wars and Rebels and then Mandalorian.
I did enjoy every character in that little group of naughty people.
There's a
Naughty
little
naughties.
fact about that episode. The people who were piloting the X-Wings were the directors of the TV show.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Little cameos. I went onto IMDb.
You know, thinking about it, I think I have to admit that episode was one of my favourites as well, because, as you say, the characters in that are fantastic. Like, the Twi'lek siblings. Obviously, one of them played by the lass who plays Tonks from Harry Potter.
Yes.
Rip. He just dies in everything.
Yeah.
And the wildling from Game of Thrones.
Yes, yeah, very true. Yeah. She's not dead in Mandalorian, is she? They put her. She's in prison.
Oh yeah.
She'll be
I
back for
was-
season 2.
I was gonna hate that episode so much if he didn't like keep them characters alive, especially when that guy got the fucking door slammed on his
Oh.
face. I like he's definitely dead.
Played by my boy Clancy Brown. Kurgan.
They do like slapping people with doors though in this series, don't they? 'Cause the first episode.
When I saw that, the first one, a guy gets cut in half.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's too many door deaths.
They were well done though. They like the second one. It was one door, and he was like, you can't
Yeah.
kill me with one door." And then he gets in with the second one.
Well, what was your favourite episode, Mr. Pineapple?
My favourite episode was episode 4, the Seven Samurai-esque
Oh yeah. I mean,
episode.
that's the one with the walker in it, isn't it? The
The Walker.
I know that you don't like it, Pony Boy.
don't like it. What?
I don't like the ATST because it's like
It's a bit of
it's
fan
seen
service.
as like a big dinosaur thing, and it's like no, there's little people in there controlling it. What it seems like a living creature the way that they showed it in the episode.
It's probably
I was
got
like-
cameras on its feet so they can see. Oh, there's a bit of water there. Let's not go in. I imagine when you've got the technology to make something like that walk around and shoot people quite easily, you've got a way of going, I probably shouldn't stand on that.
I just mean like the whole way it like rose up.
Oh,
out of
yeah.
I
with
love
the
that.
red eyes.
I
and
love
stuff.
that show.
It looked cool, yeah, but I was like, it's a big robot.
I feel like they've done that for a reason, though. They gave it a sort of life because this is the giant thing that's been the bane of this little sort of farming community's existence. And to them, it sort of is real because they're not sort of veterans of the wars and shit.
What if he had tremors instead?
Do you mean the graboids?
Oh,
Graboids.
Yeah, I'd like that because that's all I want in anything.
He keeps trying to give Baby Yoda away, though, doesn't he?
well, I mean, he's trying to keep him alive because being a Mandalorian's not a. You don't take a baby when you're out and being a bounty hunter, do you?
I think he just sees him as a burden. He's like, maybe he should stay here now.
And it also introduces my girl,
She was great.
Gina Carano.
Yeah, man.
I'm a big fan of her. She has a presence that I enjoy.
Fun fact: the guy that she was fighting at the start of the episode is the stunt coordinator.
Nice.
Very nice.
And everyone should watch Haywire. Watch it. Wonderful film.
I was going to ask if you guys don't mind. What was everyone's opinions on Baby Yoda itself as like a design plot, like a plot mechanic, a MacGuffin?
I liked Baby Yoda.
Yeah,
I thought it was cute as fuck.
he's the cutest plot device ever, isn't
Yeah.
he? He's all right, I guess. He's not too
He
bad.
ate some frogs. That was cool.
I mean, he saves.
Yeah, I
he
love
saves.
Saves
Saves the
Mando, like,
Mandalorian.
so many times.
Yeah.
I like it when he's choking Gina Carano's character.
Yeah. That's good.
It's like,
actually.
oh, you don't hurt my surrogate daddy. I choke you and then you call me daddy.
What's everyone's like least favorite episode? If they have a least favorite episode.
I liked all of them. The one that kind of felt like slightly a bit of a drag / I'm not sure what the point of it was, but I think I know what the point of it is now. Was what was it called? Is it the Gunslinger?
Yeah.
The one where he says the high ground.
Yes.
It's mine as well.
And it's mine. We all agree. What is happening?
Pointless episode.
While watching it, I was like, this doesn't seem to be doing much. And like, oh, they've killed off the character that they're going to get and all this business, but obviously it's for the end scene, isn't it? So that's going to be Boba Fett, isn't it? Because if you watch one of the original trilogies, when he's in one of the scenes, his backpack does a beep, boopy, beep noise. And then in that end scene where you see the person walking up to that her corpse, it's the same noise.
Oh, look at you being all smart.
I believe
So-
it was the shortest episode as well.
And it had good old rip off Han Solo, didn't it?
Yeah. It just didn't add anything for me to the series. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's my least favourite character as well.
Narratively, there was nothing,
No.
which I believe for a good few of the episodes personally, but
It felt like a nostalgia episode for me.
Yeah.
It was like, we're back on Tatooine, we're in a canteen, there's a guy sat in a booth that looks like Han Solo.
Yeah.
There's speeders.
That's the only thing the episode had for me was, oh, it's the cantina. That's where Han Solo probably sat and killed. Shot first or didn't shoot first, or shot at the same time or didn't shoot at all, whichever cut you want to watch.
they got my girl Ming Na Wen in it, right? And they didn't even let her kung fu shit up.
That's what annoyed me. She's great. I love her. And I felt like she was the character they were going to leave alive and have to come back later on.
Yeah.
I felt the episode was setting up for her, setting her character up, but it didn't set up her character because she died. It didn't set up the Han Solo character. The only character that we see really live through the episode is that woman who takes care of Baby Yoda. And she's probably my least favourite character.
Amy Sedaris.
was a weird. Let's give Baby Yoda run some droid scenes.
It was just an odd episode. Very much the essence of filler.
I think a lot of this season was kind of filler, though.
As I said, you could get rid of 4 of these episodes and you'd be fine because they have nothing to the story. You only need 1, 3, 7, and 8,
See,
and you're good.
Yeah.
You'll not lose any plot if you don't watch the others.
I think the other ones mainly were used to introduce the characters, like to introduce what's his name, the I've spoken little fella, who was
It was
great.
introduced in episode 1.
Is he? I thought it was the child.
No,
I apologise.
we went through this the other
My
night.
apologies.
Because he teaches him to ride the thing.
Yeah.
Episode 2 is the one with the sandcrawler and the Jawas.
Yeah, but episode 1 he gets Baby Yoda, doesn't he?
Oh, I
Because
suppose.
he's getting attacked by the things and he saves him.
Oh yeah, and then he comes back and he's Sorry, my apologies.
Yeah, damn right.
I've warned you I didn't have a chance to rewatch this, Scott.
Question my authority.
Well, should we talk best moments, favourite moments?
There's a lot of cool moments in it.
We've already talked about the X-wings. I mean, I loved that.
Yeah, that was great. Even if I weren't a big fan of the episode overall.
I like when Mando takes down the prison droids in front of all the other team members. That's really cool.
They're like, "What are you here for?" And then he just kicks ass. And he's like, I liked a lot of service for the Clone Wars as well during the flashbacks for the Mando when he was a kid being attacked by the super battle droids.
Yeah.
I thought that was quite good.
I like the end of episode 1, the spaghetti western shooty
Shoot it out.
Yeah,
with the bounty droid, IG whatever.
IG-13, isn't it?
And that was-
Speaking of IG, I did like when he rode in on the speeder with Baby Yoda,
Yeah,
shooting everyone's shit. That was good.
That was a good scene.
him as a nurse droid was just good crack.
I had that scene spoiled for me before it came on UK Disney Plus because someone had redubbed it with Jennifer Saunders holding out for a hero.
Okay.
And I was like, they should have just put that in the series because it fits so well. But, while we're on IG, he was great. It was Taika Waititi, wasn't it, I believe?
Yeah.
He was good. I was originally disappointed that he wasn't IG-11 because in the lore, IG-11's a big, he's not so much a droid, he's an AI that has in many droids and many ships. So he's like a bounty hunter that is basically everywhere.
Right, okay.
So I was a bit disappointed it wasn't IG-13, but seeing what they did with the series and the reprogramming, it makes sense that it wasn't that one. But yeah, I enjoyed the character quite a lot.
I liked his sacrifice
Yeah.
at the end. It's like, yes, he's being a nurse droid for everyone.
I did like that because I was like, wait, if he blows himself up right in front of a tunnel entrance,
It's going to collapse.
yeah, but he did walk further on. I was like, oh, thank God. I did like the bit where he gets his jetpack.
Yeah, I
and
was about to say
attaches
that.
himself to a TIE fighter. That's fucking cool.
Yeah. I like I'm a big fan of the Mandalorians anyway. Some of my favorite stuff in the cartoons. And I liked the fucking blacksmith lady.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed the 2 stormtroopers played by Jason Sudeikis and Adam Pally.
That's the scene where they're beating up your Baby Yoda.
They punch him, yeah.
Like,
And then they
don't
can't-
open the bag.
They can't shoot at the fucking bottle thing on the floor.
There was quite a lot from the last 2 episodes that I really liked. Going back again to the ships, the TIE fighter landing. The TIE fighter was the effects of that were great, and the fact that they got some kind of weird new TIE fighter because TIE fighters don't land like that.
I was just about to say, do TIE fighters actually land like that?
No,
I'm watching it like, I'm pretty sure.
They don't. I can drop some lore on if you like, if you want to know why. Like TIE
Do
fighters
it,
normally
Do
they don't have landing gear. They were designed to be. They were like, oh well, if this thing's designed to be blown up constantly and it's disposable, why bother building a landing gear on the ship? We build the landing gear in the Star Destroyer, so TIE fighters only land in Star Destroyers. But yeah, I like that scene. It was very menacing and.
I think there's a lot of great moments. The sort of final battle in episode 4, you know, as I said, the 7 samurai stuff. There was some good action in there. I was a fan of that. I just like that episode in general. I like him eating frogs.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed that. Can I ask your opinions on the last scene where he breaks out the TIE fighter?
Oh, with
Of course. If you do, know,
Gus.
do you know what that is? Oh, you've watched the Rebel stuff now.
What,
Do you
the
know what is
dark
Darksaber? I mean, I'm interested. I'm excited for that because it's the lightsaber of the first Mandalorian Jedi, which means obviously he's got some past with the Mandalorians. Full stop.
Well, he knows him, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Mandalorian knows him. So I'm guessing we're going to get some flashbacks to like Mandalore and
The
him
thing is,
being
the Mandalorian's not actually a Mandalorian, is he? He's not from Mandalore.
No.
Yeah. What did you
Oh.
think about that line when they were like, Mandalorian's not a race, it's a creed?
I mean, it's a good way to keep them in the lore, because there's not many of them left now, is there, after the Empire genocided them, pretty much.
They could have just had him as a Mandalorian then, couldn't they? Unless we're going to meet a character later on who is a Mandalorian.
Well,
And he can be like,
Boba
you're
Fett
not
wanted-
even a Mandalorian, mate.
Well, Bo-Katan's going to be in season 2, rumored.
Mhm.
So, and she was the last person to have the Darksaber, I'm sure, in Rebels.
Or is she going to be a flashback and she's going to die?
Yeah, I have to admit, I've never really watched Rebels. I know of the Darksaber and what it is. I don't know who's had it, and I know it's passed. I don't know any of what happened to it during the animated series.
So, because we were talking about it the other day when you came round, and I was like, how did he get it? I need to know. I
bet it'll be a flashback death scene of Bo-Katan or something. Because I think all these characters that have been rumoured for season 2 are just going to be little cameos, much like
one shot.
the characters in this season. Should we talk worst moments?
Well, it's like Harry Potter. It's not really got many cons. Yeah, sure.
Shall I start us off?
I expected there
Yes.
not to be a space reveal. There was no space in the film. I'm surprised as soon as he saw out of space. No, I wasn't expecting him to see his face.
No.
Yeah, I didn't expect to see the face.
I mean, the way they did it, obviously, it feeds into his backstory and hatred of droids, and that's what they were going for. He hates droids, but the only way his life could be saved was because of a droid, because he wasn't allowed a living thing to see his face. Blah 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 blah. But it could have not been in. I don't think if they'd have just gone, oh yeah, he's not been injured.
It was so short.
Yeah.
Like they just lifted it up and he was like, oh fuck, and then they just like cut to a different scene. Why not keep him as a mysterious character?
Exactly. They could
Like,
have had him not get injured and then just gone into the sewer anyway.
Reveal his face on like the fucking last episode of the whole thing.
The thing that got me with it as well was the whole, we're not going to leave you. And then they leave him. I'm like, oh my God, they're left him behind. And then literally next scene, he's like, hey guys, I'm back. Like,
yeah.
it's kind of jarring, really, the whole pacing of that, and just
Yeah.
instantly catching back up to him, even though he's like hobbling along with IG.
I think the whole casting of Pedro Pascal, it kind of could have been anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of him, if I'm being honest.
I like when he gets his head crushed in Game of Thrones.
I like him in the second Kingsman with his whip and a good fight scene. Big fan of that.
I've not seen that one yet.
They should have cast like a really good stuntman.
There's a lot of great ones out there.
Because like throughout the whole season, I'm literally constantly thinking, is that actually Pedro Pascal?
I was just
Or
about
is
to
it
say that.
just some random guy, you know?
Standing, yeah.
And he just had to dub his voice over. Because they
thing
could
is-
have easily done that.
Yeah, and if they were just using him for the voice work, they probably could have got some better people. Because I was like, it didn't really stand out as a voice to me. It was like, oh, that's
Yeah, just get a voice actor. Do what we
Yeah.
did with Darth Maul. Get a voice actor to do his voice and then get a stunt double to do the actual stuff on screen.
Can I segue into something you just mentioned? Darth Maul.
Go on.
Yeah.
I'm not spoken to Ryan about this yet, but your opinion on Darth Maul's death in Rebels.
I liked it.
So the reason I've seen it I've not seen the show, but I've seen it many times because the thing is they say about the scene is that he adopts Qui-Gon Jinn's fighting style to if you watch the Phantom Menace scene, he does the moves to basically try and trick Darth Maul into doing the same move he did on Qui-Gon.
Right.
Obviously, Obi-Wan saw it, so he knew what was coming and made very, very short work of him because Obi-Wan's a badass.
Obi-Wan is a badass.
Some other worst moments. I've obviously mentioned the rip-off Han Solo. Didn't like it.
Oh, that entire
Their
episode.
episode, yeah.
Um,
Just looking back on that now, I'd say it just seems like a setup for Boba Fett, which wasn't even it wasn't even obvious like it was Boba Fett. People were like, oh, is that going to be a Boba Fett? And then he got cast. It's like, but the rest of that episode felt like it went nowhere.
yeah. I've just put one little thing. His cape should have been on fire when he got the jetpack. I was like, he's got to take that cape off. That is a fire hazard, that mate.
Maybe it's made out of fireproof
Yeah.
materials.
Might
Boba
be.
Fett had one.
Did it?
Yeah. I'm sure he had one. He's got one shoulder cloak. I'm sure he does. I think. Could be wrong.
Well,
Stop trying to nitpick.
mate, I want a whole backstory on that cape. Flashback scene to that woman making it. Right, this is fire resistant. And then that's it. Just done. But yeah, the other things we've already mentioned. Shall we get on to best characters?
Sure.
Gina, big fan of Gina.
I can't remember what her fucking character's name is, but she's my.
It's just Gina, mate. It's just
Gina Carano. Yeah, she was. I'm glad that she came back as well. She wasn't just a one shot character.
Glad she's not dead as well.
Yeah.
She's just badass.
Future Gina is always good.
I've put Bill Burr and that whole squad. Really like them characters.
That prison episode I quite liked. That is its own little standalone thing. It just
Why don't you like Bill Burr? You're shaking your head.
Just because you like him.
It's cool to like look at all the concept art as well in the credits to see if they originally had that like actor planned out to play that role. And the Bill Burr character looked a lot younger.
After I think out of all the end credit art shots, that episode had like there was stuff from that I'd happily just have on my wall. I'd have a room full of just that concept art. It just looked great.
Yeah.
I've put the evil Nazi man.
Gus
Werner.
from the other. Oh no, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I love. Oh yeah, Werner's he's my boy. He's just so menacing.
Yeah.
Just with the way he speaks, and I know for a fact in real life he's a crazy bastard. Like he's awesome, man. I love him.
I have to admit, I think I would have preferred. I think they kind of did is it Black Panther, the Netflix one, where halfway through they kill off the villain and replace him with a different villain. That's not as good as the first villain.
Luke Cage.
Yes, Luke Cage. Did I say Black Panther? My apologies. Luke Cage.
I agree with that as well. Cottonmouth was a better villain.
Yeah, but I think that happened in this. Like the guy with the dark saber, I can't remember his name.
Gus.
Gus from Breaking Bad. Though he's great, there was no build up to his character.
It was very out of nowhere.
Yeah.
This is the guy. Oh no, there's a bigger guy.
There's no foreshadowing really to it.
Yeah.
I'd have liked him to have kept the guy that they were dealing with him for this season and then introduce Gus alongside him for a bit, maybe.
Yeah.
But depends where they go with season 2 with that, I suppose.
I just want Werner Herzog to be in everything, essentially.
Did he die?
Yeah, I think they killed him. Gus,
he got blaster to the back, I believe.
In
the bar thing.
Yeah, they all jumped behind the bar where everyone else was getting.
Oh yeah.
Gatling laser. Well, they didn't bring out the Gatling laser then, but they all got paggered.
For worst characters, it's just repeating myself. The Han Solo ripoff and the best bounty hunter woman.
I wanted to see more of her. That made me so sad.
Don't even, man. Kung Fu's my shit.
And they had the really cool bounty hunter looking person in the Seven Samurai episode.
The one who gets shot in the back by
gets Gina.
Yeah.
I love that episode, man. I liked I like my boy Carl Weathers as the guild leader.
Yeah, he had a good part.
Yeah.
Fun fact, he was originally supposed to be an alien character who got killed off in the first episode.
What are your opinions of the scene with we're camping out with the walking testicles with that fella? In episode
the big
7,
bat
and then the terror,
and
they came out
the plug-in to Rise of a Skywalker.
Was it?
With a force heal. Shit.
We don't talk. I don't talk about that.
Were they dragons?
I thought they were like pterodactyl kind of weird dinosaurs.
I don't know. Very, very dark.
Yeah. Like episode is it 4 of Game of Thrones season 8 with the.
I know you were going to say that.
Let me take my sunglasses off. No, wait, I've not got them on.
But what other characters did I like? I like the sort of love interest woman in episode 4. The hot MILF widow.
Where he was going to settle down and.
Widows do it for me.
When he said that line, fucking hell. When he said that line about settling down there, I was like, is that going to be one of them things where, like, in the last season he actually settles down there, and it's like, it's a reference to when he said it in episode 4, mate.
I would like there to be in more.
Yeah, I think they could do quite a good ending to that. Like, there's something that he needs to save everyone. He flies the Razor Crest off, it explodes, and then Michael Caine sees him in Paris with that woman. Where
yeah.
Just do the whole Dark Knight ending.
What I like about that episode as well, episode 4, is do you ever watch Stargate and stuff?
I have seen a lot of Stargate.
Do you know where they go through it, and every planet they go to is just some random woods?
Yes.
Some shit. I got some very Stargate vibes from that episode. Just like, it's the same woods and everything, but it's a different planet each time, even though it's the same.
Shall we talk the Mandalorian overall, the character?
Stargate now.
Oh, it's a Stargate episode.
Before we move on, can I ask what people's opinion were of the little testicle rider guy? I can't remember his name. The guy who reprogrammed IG, the I have spoken.
The I have spoken man.
Yeah.
I said that too much.
Yeah.
I mean, I like a good catchphrase, don't get me wrong, but
It's just annoying one, isn't it?
I need it to be organic and not said every other sentence.
Yeah.
You know, I'm glad he died. You didn't see his death on screen, Rip. He was not that important. You know? Even the robot got to die on screen, but not Nick Nolte.
But yeah, the Mandalorian character overall. I don't like that they keep calling him Mando, because it's not spelt like that.
No, I tried to Google it so many times with an O.
I know.
Like,
Should be calling him Manda. Amanda, the space bounty.
it sounds like he's shortened his name from Amanda.
But it's
Amanda Bynes.
a lot of shortened names are like that, though. They do stuff like that, so it's not really that big of an issue.
It is for me.
Pick a boy.
It's just because Lando's called Lando.
Got Lando there.
The thing I've probably got them to call him Mando, he's the Mando. I'm like, but they know there's 20 other of them living under the... So they all call every single person Mando?
No, they didn't know they were living under there, though.
Bit racist.
Yeah, but they still continue to call him Mando after they've all just been killed by.
It's because it's a colloquial term for the race.
I mean, that's very racist.
It's not a name.
But it's not a race, it's a creed.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, but they find out his name, and then they still call him Mando, Diajani or something.
Jin, Kazama.
Let's actually find out his name. IMDb,
What
the
is it?
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
It says on the wiki page, if you go on there.
That's a lot of effort, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that is.
What were people's opinion of his backstory with the whole set I brought up before with the droids and...
I thought it were a cool shot, like
Yeah.
a cool scene.
I like the scene.
I didn't really like him.
It was
He's a bit boring.
Yeah, he's not got much to him other than I don't like droids.
Din Djarin, Din ABCDFG J ARIN. I get confused between G and J still to this day. Din Djarin.
It doesn't roll off the tongue.
That's why I call him Mando. He's just a bit monotone, like, got nothing to him.
Well, the thing is, when you look at Boba Fett in the original, he's got more than Boba Fett had going for him.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true.
Can't wait for that encounter. The two most boring Star Wars characters. Go.
Yeah, he was a bit bland, weren't he?
I mean, I enjoyed as like all the action stuff he had.
Yeah, the action was good.
The flamethrower stuff, the little the tiny crickets, or whatever they call them from, noisy crickets in his arm. But she says that you've only got a few of these, and then he spams a load of them in one room, and then he like uses them like a couple of episodes later as well. I'm like, you've got loads of those, mate. Just go wild.
Yeah, there were characters that were better than him.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's just say
he
that.
was okay. He
I
wasn't
think
bad.
that's why they had all the eccentric characters as side characters each episode kind of thing.
Yeah.
Instead of having them always with him, because they would have overshadowed his boringness. He looks cool though.
No, he looks badass.
Yeah, when he first got all the gear, like rather than just the helmet and that one armor pad, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna steal this stuff and then take Baby Yoda anyway."
Like Clint Eastwood in space.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of people talk about this as a Western series rather than a Star Wars series, and it makes a lot of sense.
I've seen a lot of Westerns in my time. It was very much influenced by The Man with No Name.
But like you said the other day, like some episodes do take on like different genres.
Yeah, I was trying to, the episode 2 was horror-y, and do you know when he goes in the cave and stuff?
Yeah.
The woolly rhino thing. So it just made me want a horror fucking Star Wars film.
He's a very clumsy bounty hunter.
Yeah.
He keeps slipping over and bloody...
It humanises him.
Mm.
I like the way when he's fighting the thing as well, and he's like, he just gets the knife out and he's just kneeling there, just, oh god, this is it. This is how I'm going out. Fucking killed by a woolly rhino for a fucking egg, for my own fucking shit parts. There's a fucking bogey baby looking at me.
On that note, I did enjoy him just to straight up disintegrating Jawas.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
And Baby Yoda's just looking at him like,
Do it. Get him.
calm down, lad. He had moments.
Setting and production. I really loved how like the different genre episodes looked.
Yeah.
Like the filler episodes, I really loved the different settings and all the set designs and everything.
Well, you know I like episode 4.
Yeah.
I don't think I've mentioned it yet. But as I said, I like a good wood-based siege.
I was going to say that the production, like the practical effects stuff, like Baby Yoda, the peanut puppet, and I Have Spoken fella, IG. I liked it wasn't completely oversaturated in CG stuff.
Yeah, the effects were great. The practical effects. I love a good practical effect as well. I'm a fan.
It showed a very different take on Star Wars as well, I think.
Yeah, so something I was going to say. It's refreshing to finally see a good TV series based in an existing franchise that's not all about the existing franchise.
Yeah.
I've said this before to a couple of people that I would like to see. I've spoken to the analysts about quite a lot. How we'd both like to see something Harry Potter based, like in the Fantastic Beasts universe. Well, it's just gangsters, wizard gangsters. I think there's a lot of space in TV for stuff like this.
No, I want a Jabba gangster show.
Yeah, there you
I've
go.
wanted that for ages, just a straight up fucking gangster series with the huts and stuff.
I feel like that'll come into Mandalorian.
He's dead though, isn't he? By now.
Yeah.
There's other.
I mean, I know there are
There's
other
the
huts.
other-
I don't know how they've done. I don't know how they did after Jabba. 'Cause I know there
Well,
was
when's?
that weird one in.
Oh no, it's
Clone Wars.
because this is set. What
This is
it,
like
5 years?
5 years after Return of the Jedi.
Jedi.
25 years before Force Awakens.
They had a few good directors as well. I can
Ain't
see
there?
why they want Taika Waititi to do a Star Wars film now. 'Cause
He's really hot right now, isn't he?
he directed the last
So hot right
episode. Don't know if he directed the last 2 episodes, but I know he directed the last one. You know, probably made his own character have the coolest death, didn't he?
It was a cool.
Oh yeah, it was great. I'm sad he died. He was a character I would have liked to have seen just continue because IG droids are just cool.
I just wanted him to be a nanny forever.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's an alright show, isn't it?
I liked it. I think.
yeah. I look forward to it. I watched it as soon as it came out. Even the episode. Was it episode 5? That was still watchable. I enjoyed that.
Because it was so short.
Should we do the rating?
I just want to talk about the music as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's probably my favourite thing about the entire show is the score
Yeah.
by my boy Ludwig, who did the music for Community as well.
Oh, solid.
And he's doing the music for Tenet as well.
Is he?
Yeah, he's just a lad.
Western
Yeah.
vibe.
It's
for the music.
full on. It's a Western show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Firefly,
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that.
but not as good.
Yeah. I also agree on that one.
Rating? Let's do the rating. Who wants to go first?
Let's have our guest go first. Out of 7,
That's 7, isn't it?
you are
Nice.
allowed 0.5. So I believe because you
0.5.
0.5'd it up in the last episode, didn't you, Pony Boy?
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna give it it's a 6 or a 5.5. I'm not sure which. I want to go with a 6 maybe. The bad stuff wasn't really that bad. Like compared to other stuff, it was still very watchable. It was still good.
Pony Boy,
I'm gonna go with a 5.
solid.
No, like you say, the bad stuff weren't. I mean, that Han Solo ripoff did really piss me off. He was just a bad actor as well. But yeah, I did. It made me happy inside to see something different from Star Wars. Mr. Pineapple.
I'm a 4.5.
4.5.
Yeah, I really liked it, but there's a lot of writing stuff that annoyed me, and some of the characters, and that one episode, just
Yeah.
knocked a good 3 points off it. I was going to give it more than 7. Apparently, if I can't do math. I'm glad that character died. He died, didn't he? He got shot. Yeah.
Should we talk season 2 rumors, or have we already done that kind of?
Let's just do another brief overview.
So the one I want to talk about is Timothy Oliphant.
Oh.
He's apparently going to be wearing the Boba Fett
Oh.
Armor.
That's the one. I was going to say outfit, but that's not.
In the lore before Disney were like, no, that don't exist. Boba Fett escaped to Sarlacc pit twice.
Is this in Legends?
Yes, in Legend.
He's not gonna. He's been cast as Cobb Vanth. It's already
Yeah,
announced who he's gonna play, not Boba Fett.
I'll say Boba Fett's been cast as thingy. Is the guy who played him in Django Fett, isn't it?
A former
Oh
slave
yeah, I don't.
acquired Boba Fett's Mandalorian armor.
Yeah, I thought they were bringing the guy who played Django in Clone Wars to play either Boba or Captain Rex.
Or Commander Cody.
Oh, I don't know which one of those are dead or not.
I think it's going to be Captain Rex.
Rex is normally the fan favorite, isn't he?
He's alive.
The other thing is as well is the end scene of the episode that we all don't like is at least it's Boba Fett's armor at least.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the big.
How are you going to
reveal.
get that out of the Sarlacc pit if Boba Fett can't get out?
Some
Minor.
laxatives. Go straight through the Sarlacc, mate. Also, Michael, how do you fucking pronounce his name? Bien, the guy from Terminator. He's cast as a bounty hunter in season 2 as well, and he should be in everything. He should have been massive, man.
I don't know why they cast him and then have Timothy play the guy that's going to have his armor. I don't get. Like,
Is he going to have his armor?
yeah.
Sorry. Maybe
But
he stole his armor and Boba Fett teams up with Mando to get it back, and it's the buddy cop.
Simple as that.
Buddy cop drama.
I want Boba to be like an enemy though. Like he thinks he's the best bounty hunter.
See, we don't know what Boba Fett's
This other
like.
fucking Mandalorian's popped up thinking he's a shit.
We'll just have to wait and see.
I mean,
And Captain Rex is there getting his cock out.
I would.
On a related question, do we think Boba Fett could take out Mando? I mean, let's look at Boba Fett's on-screen performance. He turns up at the dining table. He turns up at a dining table, freezes a dude, and then falls into a sandpit. That's pretty much all he does, isn't it?
I don't like him. I think he's overrated. Django's better.
Yeah, when he gets his head cut off by, is it Mace Windu?
Yeah. I want to see some more lightsaber action though. Darksaber, shall I say.
This is the question for either season 2 or the future. Do we think Mando is going to end up with the Darksaber?
No.
Because it's tied into the Mandalorians as a people.
Yeah, no.
Or do you think he'll at least recover it and then deliver it to the armor woman from?
Maybe he'll stick it on his rifle as a bayonet. That'd be cool. Or maybe Gina will get it. Who knows? Maybe Baby Yoda will like age really quickly and get it. There's got to be like a good explanation of what happens to Baby Yoda though.
Well, that's why he's going after Ahsoka. That's why they're going to meet up with Ahsoka Tano, isn't it? Because she's going to be one of the only people who knows about the Jedi Order, and he'll find her to help figure out what's going on with Baby Yoda, and she'll be like, "Oh, you need to go to Planet Yoda."
Planet Yoda.
I just want all the cast of Rebels to be in it.
I think they will be because the fucking rumor and everything.
My girl Sabine, she's
Sabine
a man.
I mean, I have slight issues with Sabine. I mean, I've never watched it, but the only thing I know about it, she has a TIE fighter that they steal to infiltrate somewhere, and they paint the inside of it bright orange. Like the inside solar things bright orange, don't they?
Yeah.
That's not very undercover, Sabine.
I love Sabine. She had the Darksaber for a bit in the show before giving it to Bo-Katan.
Do you think Gus is going to be like the main villain throughout the whole thing, or do you think he'll die quickly?
I hope he dies quickly and Werner Herzog comes back to life.
I don't know. I don't know about the character to have any kind of interest in him at the moment. It's like he turns up, I've got some guns.
Yeah, it was
I know your name.
Bit bland.
If he can't use the Force, then I think he's gonna just die. Really, not really quickly, but
he should have
at
died when his
least.
fucking ship crashed.
Probably, yeah. I mean, Finn and Poe didn't die, did they? When they crashed a TIE fighter. TIE fighters seem to have really good padding, like some decent airbags.
They've got a good chassis, haven't they? Yeah. They've got roll cage, like a rally car.
It's just a ball. Bring Darth Maul back again. He's avoided death twice. Let's do that.
Well, it's at the end of our big pineapple. So that is a big pineapple done.
Yes, a fun one.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Because while it did have its niggles and stuff,
Can you say that?
we enjoyed it overall.
That's staying in.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I said niggles.
Shall we get on to the wrestling news?
Let's do this thing.
Well, starting off with some upsetting news. Shag Gaspard tragically died last week, was it?
Yeah, last week.
He went swimming.
There was a few people swimming. He was with his son. They got sort of caught in a riptide.
Yeah.
And the lifeguards couldn't save them all. He said, take my son first and that.
Yeah.
Heroic.
What a fucking champ.
Yeah.
Just sad, man.
Well, they only just found his body the other day, didn't they?
Yeah. He was only 39 as well. But,
Just that Take My Son. It's like something out of a fucking film, that. Like,
yeah. And they've done like a fundraiser thing.
Yeah.
For this kid. And apparently John Cena's donated 40 grand to it.
Solid.
wow. I know there's, on the network, there was a, memoriam bit for him. Yeah, just really sad. We got another sad news as well. Do you want to take this one?
Yes, another wrestling death. This one made me fucking bummed as shit, man.
Yeah.
Hana Kimura has allegedly committed suicide. because of cyberbullying and stuff.
22 as well.
22 years old. A wonderful Japanese female wrestler. Wrestled mostly in Stardom in Japan. Pretty much the premier female wrestling division on the planet. She posted some pictures on Twitter of apparent self-harm and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But like Twitter took them down. But yet they didn't take down any of the trolls and the bullies and the everything. It's
Pretty bad
shit,
platform.
man. Fucking shit.
It's a good old case of like free speech versus hate speech, and it like you can't really do out.
You know, I know we
trolls and that.
You know, we're big advocates of mental health and stuff on the podcast and stuff, and it proper bummed me out
Yeah,
when I saw the news. 22, man.
same age as me.
For wrestling, she was a great wrestler. Go and watch some of the stuff. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube that you can watch of her and stuff. One of the first women to wrestle at Tokyo Dome as well.
Oh, nice.
Because they had the women's match, didn't they, at the last Wrestle Kingdom, best ever one. History maker.
Aye. Well, should we get on to?
Don't be cunts.
Yeah.
Internet
don't be cunts.
people.
But last bit of wrestling news.
Yes.
Do you want to take the reins on this, Owen Hart?
It was actually the anniversary of Owen Hart's death yesterday. 21 years had gone since that tragic accident where he fell from the thing and landed on the turnbuckle and died on a live wrestling pay-per-view that I watched as a 6-year-old. Shouldn't have been
scarred you.
Over the Edge, mate, was the name of that pay-per-view. And he fell to his death. Apt. Very apt. But anyway, yeah, there was an episode of Dark Side of the Ring based on the tragedy and stuff. And the first official Owen Hart t-shirts have been released in over 20 years. And all the proceeds are going to the Owen Hart Foundation thing that Martha Hart set up after he passed. So if you're a fan of Owen Hart, you don't have to troll the internet for vintage attire anymore. You can buy yourself a brand new one off Ringside Tees. I would get one, but I don't fancy paying the shipping costs from America. But I'll probably get one, to be fair.
But yeah, that's all for wrestling news for this week. Let's get on to the awareness section. Who's got one? Because I haven't.
Well, I've got one. A friend of mine has started streaming on Twitch. The Twitch name is Inazai, Inazia, Inazai, something. She's streaming World of Warcraft, and she's doing a campaign for British Red Cross and the NHS, you know, COVID relief. This is her first stream though, so be kind to her, you know. And that fundraiser ends at the end of May, unless it's June now, in which case it's the end of June.
I've got one if that's all right. It's just something that's quite close to my heart that I'd like to. It's Thornbury Animal Sanctuary. Is a place that I always think needs a bit of. It's always good to give support if people can, because I know when people get pets and stuff, they're like, oh, let's go and get a puppy, or let's go and get a kitten. But there's plenty of animals that have had homes and have been, how you say it, thrown away. But
my boy Flipper, for example, got him when he was 9.
Yep. Both of my cats that I've got now and the dog that I used to have came from Thornbury. Do great work and mad respect.
Yeah.
We always considered rescuing rather than buying from a breeder and all that business.
Adopt, don't shop.
Exactly right.
Hashtag.
That's a nice hashtag.
But yeah, I'm gonna just say the Twitch name again, Inaze, for the thing, because you
butchered it the first time.
I did. Also, just don't bully people online unless they're called Seaton.
Yes.
Fuck you, Seaton.
Yes.
I know we do bully Seaton, but he deserves it.
And he loves it because he's got some weird fetishes, that boy.
Yeah, he
likes the gym a bit too much.
He's got some massive guns. I keep asking him to like show them off whenever like we're at a party, or when we were at parties before, you know, the world went mad. And he always seems to think I'm taking the piss, but I just want to see them massive muscles, legit.
Yeah, I mean,
Are you got the hots for Seaton? Is that what we? Are you
Get a
coming out?
different hair colour, maybe.
But
Seaton's alright.
You know, I've also, this is not an awareness one, but I've got a shout out for a friend of the podcast, Snips. You know, who she designed our
amazing
wonderful logos. Her and a bunch of her friends, uni friends and whatnot, they're working on an indie game right now, which is apparently Metroidvania-esque and based on a spaceship. We don't have many plot details because it's in the infancy, shall we say. And they plan on releasing on the 4th of September. So you can go to lockdowngamestudios.com for info on that. And it's the sort of same name for all their social media handles as well. So Lockdown Game Studios.
Nice.
very nice.
Friend of the podcast, Snips.
Nice. And with that, guess that's the end, isn't it?
I was going to ask, because obviously I know sometimes guests ask you questions, I'll be alright. I've got a question if just to
Oh,
spring on
God,
you.
he's doing an analyst.
Fire away.
I mean,
There we go.
Grandad Dick
the analyst section was great and I loved it, so I want to you know what? I'm stealing it. Thingy.
Yeah,
I was going to ask,
fire away.
any film you could make one change to it to like make it better. Like if you could make any change to any film, but only one, what would the change be and what film?
Fucking hell.
Right. In Police Story, there's the stunt at the beginning with the car. I'm gonna take off like just a few, maybe like a second. We're gonna edit a second out of that so the car's not tipping fully over, and then I'll have joy in life.
Nice.
Because that edit is very jarring.
It is very jarring.
I'm filling time for your pony so while you're thinking.
Cheers, mate.
I forgot about the animated question, so this is my revenge. You made me pick Brock because I couldn't think of anyone else.
I'm going to go with Birdman. And I'd change the ending of the film to be just a lot more clear, to actually show.
You don't like the ambiguity.
I kind of did, but there's so much in that like 30-second clip. Like there's the ambulance noises happening to say that he's like jumped out the window, he's died, and then
But
there's.
it's in a hospital. Of course, there's going to be ambulance noises.
I know, but it's very like pronounced. You can kind of like Emma Stone's character looking up and pretending he's actually like flying and stuff. Just kind of pick one. It kind of seemed like, because the whole film's.
That's a shit choice.
Yeah, fuck you, you're shit. Police Story shit. Yeah, I said it. I'd change Endgame to be a better film.
Well.
Just wipe Endgame from existence. Much better film there. See, the other two people that were on, they didn't ask a question, did they? Amateurs.
Not coming back on. I guess that's the end. Fuck you, Seaton.
Fuck you, Seaton.
I've already got on that one already. I'm not doing it twice. He doesn't deserve two of them from me.
He deserves as many as he fucking gets. You can find us at Wonder Hour on Twitter, Mr. Pineapple's Wonder Hour on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, and Mr. Pineapple's Wonder Hour on Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. This has been Mr. Pineapple's Wonder Hour, Wonder Hour, Wonder Hour. Stay fresh.
Stay fresh.
Stay fresh, I guess.
Yeah, Charles dance.
Charles.
Take a ride on some little pony. Let's take a ride on some little pony. Let's take a ride on some little pony with Mr. Pineapple. Oh yeah, it's Mr. Pineapple's Wonder Hour.
I thought
This
all
one.
the Daniel Craig yes, that one.
Yeah.
The Daniel Craig films
Look.
were like set before everything.
Gadgets.
Yeah, I thought
Stop bullets. Otherwise, you get shot dead.
Let the man speak.
What we want them to bring back is the Lotus that can go underwater.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, mate. Why do you
What?
have everything in your room?
What?
Every podcast you're like, which is up here, down there.
I've got everything. I've got the Aston Martin from On Her Majesty's Secret Service. The best of all, Little Nelly from that one from the 60s that I can't remember. The little helicopter. The one set in Japan. What's that one called? Sean Connery's in it. Can't
Asian
remember.
James Bond. Tomorrow Never Dies.
That's a
one,
little
isn't
bit
it?
after Sean Connery's time, that one.
Pierce Brosnan, isn't it? Tomorrow Never Dies?
Yeah, with Michelle Yeoh. Wonderful, wonderful actress. I've got so much shit, man.